You have a small channel and feel like you're being ignored by the YouTube algorithm. It's a reality for far too many creators, but it doesn't have to be your fate. We went straight to the source and got the closely guarded secrets from the man who designed the YouTube algorithm, and today we're sharing them with you. Your days of invisibility are over. The climb starts now. I think it took more years than it should have for creators to truly understand that their views were determined by quality. Hold on. Who is this guy? You probably don't know him, and that's understandable. He keeps a pretty low profile and is far from an internet celebrity. Yet he's had an enormous impact on your life as a YouTuber and on the lives of millions of content creators. His name is Todd Beaupre, and his job title is Senior Director of Product Management, Growth and Discovery at YouTube. That's a lot of words to say he's basically the man behind the famous YouTube algorithm that rules the platform. So he's probably the best person on earth to help you make sense of that mysterious black box everyone's so fascinated by. If you have a small YouTube channel that's struggling to take off, pay very close attention to what comes next, because Todd Beaupre is about to share 5 tips to make the algorithm love you more than anything. You'll discover what a cereal box and a viral YouTube video have in common, and why understanding this is essential for growing your channel. With these valuable insights straight from the heart of YouTube, you'll learn exactly how to get the algorithm to promote your content. And speaking of the algorithm, it's time to stop obsessing over it. When people talk about the algorithm, I tell them to replace the word algorithm with the word audience, because the algorithm's purpose is to serve the audience. The algorithm is just a kind of channel, and what you should really focus your attention on is what interests viewers. What Todd is saying here is, stop fixating on the algorithm. A lot of creators try to crack the algorithm's code to find some magic formula that guarantees success. I don't blame them. It's a very tempting idea. But the problem is that this algorithm is a closely guarded secret, and only a handful of people at YouTube actually know what's inside it. So why waste your time trying to crack the code? Instead, think about your audience. Why? Simply because the algorithm is viewer-centric. The ultimate goal, really, for us as content creators, is to make sure people have a satisfying experience on YouTube so they come back tomorrow, come back a year from now, because we've consistently delivered content that satisfied them. The algorithm tries to understand what viewers like and what interests them, then suggests more similar content. That means if you produce content your audience loves and wants to see, you're playing into the algorithm's hands, and it will promote your content. It's easy to get lost chasing trendy tips and hacks to boost your YouTube performance. But Todd reminds us that the main goal is to satisfy your audience. That's where our focus as creators should be. So the next time you wonder how to please the YouTube algorithm, remember Todd's advice and ask yourself, what would my audience enjoy? All right, drop a thumbs up if you agree it's better to think in terms of audience rather than algorithm. Now, creating content your viewers love is great, but it's only half the battle. Todd's next tip is so crucial, it could revolutionize how you approach your YouTube videos. We'll dive into that in a moment. And right after, Todd will reveal the subtle art of getting people to click on your videos, without being clickbait, of course. But first, let's get back to this tip for small YouTube channels. It left me speechless, and I bet it'll have the same effect on you. I think it took more years than it should have for creators to truly understand that their views were determined by the quality of their video packaging, that it wasn't just about making a good video, but that part of a creator's job was to market that video in a way that makes people click on it, because that's what you need to get views. He doesn't say much, but he's so right. Content creation isn't just about making an excellent video, it's also about packaging that video. What does he mean by that? Let me explain. The packaging of your videos includes all the elements that influence whether a viewer wants to click on your content, before even a single second plays. Imagine you're in a supermarket, standing in front of the cereal aisle. There are dozens of boxes all screaming, "Pick me, pick me, pick me." How do you choose which cereal to put in your cart? You probably look at the packaging, the name, some info on the box, maybe even take a second to read the description on the back. That's exactly how your videos are consumed on YouTube. Viewers scroll through a multitude of choices. If your video's packaging doesn't grab their attention and spark their interest, they'll probably keep scrolling and pick another video. What's the point of making exceptional videos if no one watches them? A content creator's job isn't just to create great content, it's also to think about how to present it to the world to attract clicks. There are several things to consider here, including promoting your content. I actually just published a video sharing 5 free ways to promote your videos. The link is in the description. So let's talk about this packaging. What makes someone decide to click on your video among all the others on YouTube's homepage? That's where the title and thumbnail come in. 2 essential elements that Todd highlights. Originally, YouTube used a random image as the thumbnail. Then at some point, we allowed creators to upload a custom thumbnail. We added custom thumbnails, and I think it took a while for creators to realize the value they bring to viewers by helping them decide. A YouTube video thumbnail is like a book cover. It's the first thing you see, and it either grabs your attention or it doesn't. A well-designed thumbnail isn't just a pretty picture or a random screenshot. It's a real strategic tool to pique your audience's curiosity and instantly convey what your video will offer them. But hey, I like books with pictures too, so don't make the mistake of neglecting your thumbnails. Invest time in creating eye-catching ones, and then you can always send Todd and me a little thank you note. How do you make a good thumbnail? There are several elements to consider: clarity, relevance, striking visuals. But the easiest way to create an excellent thumbnail is to check out this video where I show you how to do it quickly and easily with a 100% free tool. The thing is, even with a well-optimized thumbnail, it's still tricky to convey a video's concept in a single image. That's why Todd and his team added a game-changing feature to the platform. Today, we're in a world where on mobile, the thumbnail only displays for half a second to a second as you scroll through the homepage. We found that people really liked being able to see the video content because a video contains much more information than a simple thumbnail. I think we're experiencing something similar. Few creators understand that the viewer's decision largely depends on what they see in the intro, and what they see in the intro when there's no sound. And how much time do you think most creators spend looking at this through the viewer's eyes, trying to figure out if it's worth their time? Isn't that incredible? This automatic preview means that your video's introduction has become the visual hook, the decisive moment that determines whether someone watches your content or just keeps scrolling. If you think this is golden information, brace yourself, because Todd's next tip reveals the 3 key elements the YouTube algorithm uses to decide which videos to put in front of viewers. And it's not what you think. But let's come back to this automatic preview first. It's really thanks to this feature that more and more viewers start watching videos without even clicking on them. So if the first few seconds of your video don't capture their attention, they'll move on to the next one before you can even say thumbs up. It's a bit like when you meet someone. You don't get a second chance to make a good first impression, and it's the same with your videos. Todd adds an important detail. These previews play without sound, so your intro needs to be engaging both visually and orally. Use images, graphics, subtitles, anything that can catch the eye and spark curiosity. The first few seconds of your videos have essentially become the new thumbnails. So how committed are you to investing in your intros? Let me know in the comments if you're fired up, super fired up about this. Now that we've covered all that, I'm sure you'd still like to know what the algorithm actually considers when choosing which videos to promote. And Todd shares the 3 most important elements. Think about it this way. How would we know if someone enjoyed a video? If they click the like button, that's a good indicator that the video contributed to a positive long-term experience. Similarly, if they click the dislike button, it probably didn't. The click-through rate. We found it useful for knowing if someone was interested in the video. But a few years ago, that was the only thing YouTube looked at. We found that how long someone watched was also an indicator of their satisfaction level, but that was just one signal that on its own doesn't tell the whole story. To sum up, likes, click-through rate, and average watch time are the most important metrics used by the algorithm. The more clicks and the longer the watch time, the more the algorithm determines that your video is a hit. One incredibly effective way to increase your average watch time is to work on your video structure like a pro. If you don't know how to do that, I invite you to try BrainTubes, an AI tool I created to generate punchy YouTube tutorial scripts in a flash. You simply enter the title of your future tutorial. For example, how to make sugar-free, gluten-free crepes. Click Generate my punchy script, and a few seconds later you get a structured first draft, a compelling intro and conclusion, the main ideas to develop, and visual suggestions. Take advantage of it while it's free, because that won't last. The link to BrainTubes is in the description. So we've covered 3 elements, but I'd encourage you not to rely solely on these 3. Remember, even though these signals are important, they're not the only ones. The goal isn't to become a like-generating machine. What matters most is creating valuable content for your audience that genuinely sparks their interest and enthusiasm. Remember, think audience, not algorithm. The clicks, the likes, and everything else will follow naturally. And if you want to go even further in growing your small YouTube channel, my best advice is to watch this video, which perfectly complements what you just learned. In it, I share the biggest mistakes small YouTubers make, plus my attraction retention formula to keep getting views months and years after publishing your videos. See you soon. Ciao.